Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss another very much relevant topic recently again in news. So what we are seeing today is, should Delhi remain the national capital? Right? As we all know, Delhi or New Delhi is our capital. But the question time and again is arising, should Delhi remain our capital? Now in this class, we'll discover what are the issues, the historical significance or analysis. We'll link it to the history definitely. We'll see the historical perspective, whether such capital shifting events happened in the past or not. And what are the global examples? Any other countries have attempted so far such a shift in the capital? And what are the alternatives and the conclusion? So first of all, we'll see what is the relevance. Why this debate has again started? Why this thing has again come up in news? Recently, Shashi Tharoor, a very known figure, is a Congress MP from Kerala, Member of Parliament. He has tweeted, he had made a post asking the same question, should Delhi remain the national capital, a few months ago. Now this question asking by Shashi Tharoor has raised the debate once again. And why did he say so? In his post, he explains that pollution levels in Delhi are so high. He also cites the AQI, that is Air Quality Index, the worst in a lot of cities when compared with global cities. Delhi is having one of the worst air quality index. And this happens with setting in of winter. Every time during the November, December, we see in news that the Delhi's air quality index is becoming more and more worst. Now, various factors are there. We are not going into it, but definitely from November till January, it's completely inhospitable. The weather in Delhi is completely inhospitable. But what about other months? What about May, June? Even during these seasons also, we see the air quality is bad, relatively bad. It's not, we cannot say good, but relatively bad. So throughout the year, relatively bad air quality index. And from November to January, completely inhospitable conditions. So these were the questions that were highlighted in Shashi Tharoor's post. He also went on to say that he chaired a lot of meetings related to improvements in air quality index since past decade. But he has quit the post past year. He has discussed with stakeholders. He has discussed with a lot of MPs. He has chaired a number of meetings. But last year, when he has seen that no progress was made, whatever decisions being taken, the ground reality is not changing. So after seeing such things, he quit himself from this particular post. So he is also mentioning that. So governments are trying. We see Delhi government is also trying. We see national government is also trying. But finally, the result is there is no impact. So therefore, that's the relevance. We'll see what are the other issues apart from Shashi Tharoor's question, apart from pollution. Is that enough? Are there any other issues? We'll see. Definitely, first is overcrowding. Delhi is one of the highly populated cities, one of the highly dense cities in the world. We can say the densest city, one of the densest cities in the world. So very highly populated. Second, extreme temperature. Like in summer, you see it's very hot, unbearable, along with the humidity. And in winters, you see temperatures falling up to 1 degree, 2 degree. So the summer temperatures are also very warm, inhospitable. The winter temperatures are also very warm and inhospitable. So extreme temperature. The third thing is seismic zone. It could never happen that you have stayed in Delhi for a few months and you have not experienced an earthquake. Every other time, definitely Delhites or people living in Delhi are continuously experiencing minor earthquakes because Delhi is very close to Himalayas and the Himalayan region is the seismic zone, earthquake prone region, and therefore it adds to the vulnerability of Delhi as a capital. And therefore, apart from this seismic zone, we see geopolitical considerations. Delhi is very close to borders, international borders. In the event of war, this could prove against our interest. So therefore, the geopolitical issue is also makes Delhi vulnerable as a capital. So definitely, apart from pollution, there are various other issues which have been debated for long. These issues have been debated for long. Now we'll see the historical analysis. In the past Indian history, have we shifted our capitals? We have a very long history, and this shifting of capital has happened a lot of time. We'll see from ancient history to medieval history to modern history. In ancient history, after the Vedic period, we see Mahajanpadas. During that period, we see Magadhan Empire was one of the earliest empires of India. During the 5th century BC, Magadhan Empire was ruled by Haryanka dynasty. And one of the most powerful rulers of this Haryanka dynasty was Ajatasattu. So, around 500 BC, Ajatasattu has shifted the capital of one of the earliest kingdoms of India. He shifted it from Rajgir to Patliputra. Patliputra is current day's Patna, which is there in Bihar. Rajgir was surrounded by a lot of hills. Adding to its name, Gir means Giri. That was also strategically important initially. But this made expansion of Rajgir as a capital impossible because it was surrounded by so many hills. Now then, why the decision was taken to shift the capital to Patliputra? Patliputra was in plains, was a plain region. So therefore expansion can happen. Expansion of city basically, right? So expansion of city can easily happen. Another thing is strategically located between rivers. So Patliputra is located between 3 rivers. So we say Gandhak, Ganga and the Son rivers. So Ganga river, the Gandhak river and the Son river. So these rivers, you can say, they are forming the different borders of this particular Patliputra city or current Patna. Therefore providing natural boundaries. If an enemy wants to attack, he needs to cross a river, which proves very much futile during the times of a war. Therefore, can be protected. So, because of the strategical significance, we see Patliputra was made the capital and shifted from Rajgir. So, as you can see, from Rajgir, the capital was changed to Patliputra. Again, this particular capital was so prosperous, was so strong that it has continued throughout the ancient history. Even after Magadhan Empire, we see Maurya, even Nandas, within the Magadhan Empire, we see the Nandas ruling from Patliputra, right? Then Mauryas, even Ashoka, ruling from Patliputra as their capital. Then even Guptas, even Gupta rulers also, we see that they were also ruling from Patliputra. So for so long in the ancient historic period, Patliputra remained the capital of India. Next we will see, within the ancient history, again Patliputra was changed. Again there was a capital change. We see capital was changed from Patliputra to Kannauj. Who did this? It was done by Harshvardhana, around 7th century AD. 6th or 7th century AD. So Harshvardhana made Kannauj as his capital. Now where is this Kannauj? It is somewhere here between the Ganga and the Yamuna rivers. So why did he shift? He shifted because this gave him an advantage over North India, right? Again, it was a plain region, and Patliputra being surrounded by a lot of rivers, by this particular time, repeated floods were coming in. So because to avoid this particular repeated flooding situation and to move to somewhat better strategically located city, we see he made Kannauj his capital. Now once he made Kannauj his capital, Kannauj became so prosperous city and so aspiring city that future kingdoms were fighting for the Kannauj. In the later part of this, in the future centuries, we see that 3 kingdoms in the north, that is, Gurjara Pratiharas in the north, Palas in the east, and Rashtrakutas from the south, everybody wanted Kannauj to be their capital. All three were fighting, which was called as a tripartite struggle. So, the importance of Kannauj also lay in Gurjara Pratihara struggles, one dynasty, then Palas, then Rashtrakutas. During the early medieval historic periods, this is what we are seeing, a tripartite struggle. And what is this struggle going for? This struggle was happening for the control of Kannauj. Why Kannauj? Because it has become so prosperous cities. So therefore, this was also hugely successful. Next, we'll see the medieval history. During the medieval history, we see that when invasions happened from the west, right, Delhi Sultanate and then Mughals, for both of them, Delhi or Agra were centers. During Delhi Sultanate period, we see Delhi was the most important. They they constructed a lot of cities in and around Delhi. So Delhi was their capital. But during the Sultanate rule, Delhi Sultanate rule, we see an event where again capital shifting happened. During the rule of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he shifted the capital from Delhi to Devagiri in the south in Maharashtra. So we see that Tughlaq shifted the capital from Delhi to Devagiri in south. Now why did he shift his capital? Again, he had his own reasons. The first reason being administrative efficiency, that he could control north and south, right? Control north and south better, so he could provide better administration. Second reason was Mongol invasion, because Delhi was close to the borders and a lot of time Mongol invasions were happening. Even in the previous dynasties also we see that they have faced the challenges and defeated Mongols repeatedly. So Muhammad bin Tughlaq was also concerned of Mongol invasions, therefore he too wanted a safer location. Apart from Mongol invasions, he has also noticed that people in Delhi are becoming ill every other time. They are having headaches, or if headache is cured, they are having fevers, if fever is cured, or some other disease. So he thought there was some problem in the Delhi weather, even though it's not related to today's. Today we are seeing a lot of pollution. Definitely it can be comparable. Today even Delhi, we see a lot of pollution is happening. That's what we have discussed earlier. And because of pollution, a lot of people's diseases, a lot of people are suffering with a lot of diseases. So sensing the prevalence of disease or people getting ill frequently, he shifted his capital to Devagiri. But this capital shifting happened in the year 1327, definitely AD, right? But this experiment lasted only 3 years. He was not able to control north from south, and again he shifted his capital back to north. Therefore, even though this proved as a failed experiment, even though the Tughlaq's transfer from Delhi to Devagiri proved as a failed experiment, it still has a lot of lessons that are relevant to current period. Now discussing about modern history, do we have any such parallels? During the time of British, was our capital changed? Definitely yes. Because when British have occupied India, earlier they ruled from Kolkata. Kolkata was their capital. Again we see that British have shifted their capital from Kolkata to Delhi. So British in the year 1911 we see they are shifting capital from Kolkata to Delhi. What is the primary reason? Why British went for shifting the capital? The very first reason is political conditions or political vulnerabilities. What were the political vulnerabilities? Because Calcutta was capital for so long, and here in Calcutta itself a lot of national movements have started. Calcutta became a center for national movements. Every other day, lot of protests were happening. People were demanding, a national consciousness was increasing. And therefore, to just stay away from such sort of protest, to stay away from the national movement of India, they shifted their capital from Kolkata to Delhi. Another reason of shifting to Delhi was Delhi being centrally located. How centrally located? We see that British influence was not even in Pakistan, but even Afghanistan. Pakistan was definitely part of India. And even Afghanistan also we see British had influence till that particular part. Therefore, seeing this vast area, British have decided that Delhi could be centrally located from where they can rule. And the third reason why British have shifted the capital to Delhi, because of the cultural significance, because of the Delhi being a seat of power, a cultural significance or historical, because during the entire time of Delhi Sultanate and during the Mughals, we see that Delhi was a capital, Delhi was the seat of governance, Delhi was somewhere culturally attached to the people of India as a capital. Therefore, sensing this particular historical and cultural importance, they shifted or they made Delhi their capital and constructed a new city called as New Delhi, and they made it their capital.